Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, good morning, good morning. I think we have good news across the board. I spoke to our 2024 funding this morning and got confirmation that the wire is going from the retirement account to his account. Hey, Frida, hope you're doing well. And then that wire comes to Rhino's account, all of which I guess should be done by Thursday. The expectation is the money will hit the investor's account by Wednesday, being tomorrow, meaning, okay, well then just send the wire over to us. So I really, really believe I'll be able to formally announce that our 2024 is completely funded by Thursday. That's the goal, fingers crossed. It's really been a very, very long road to be able to even say that much. And I'm tempering the optimism, right? Like if I actually read the email that I have, you would say, yeah, it's a done deal. Like, duh. No, no, no. I've lived a very, very long life in 37 years. I've had the opportunity and the great misfortune, curse and blessing to live under my father. I can promise you, unless it's in your hand, nothing is done. And even then, you better be able to walk out the room. So if you read the email that I read, you would be high-fiving. I'm not built that way. Until it's there, it doesn't exist. So that's that. Stripe, which is our main merchant account, I believe is going to be looking to make us an offer. I spoke to them the other day, and they want to extend credit to us, which again is a very good thing. And the way they get paid back is through the percentage of the transactions. So it actually might be that 2024 is funded super duper duper. And I understand that over the last month, it's, Anthony Rhino Bucks is going down. Anthony this, I haven't seen any purchases, blah, blah, blah. I get it. And I don't really have I don't have excuses, but I actually do have reasons. And I think I'm kind of maxing out at my individual capability. I'm representing myself in 3 different courtrooms, 2 superior courts, 1 municipal court, all family related, right? Like I'm not a criminal, nothing with Rhino, all family related, against 2 different law teams. In fact, I have court the 17th, the 20th, and the 24th in 3 different courts. And that's not, go run and hide. I mean, when someone hears that, you could think one of 2 things. Oh my God, Rhino has so much weight on their shoulders. They're going to buckle. Look at the stuff they're involved in. How could anyone, that's a lot for one person. Yeah, you could look at that. But if your takeaway from that is, wow, they're just done. No, that's not even close. In fact, the real takeaway should be, yeah, they're doing that. They've been doing that. They've been doing that for 106 days now. Imagine when that's finally over and all of the attention's in Rhino. Like you're not only looking at a founder and a steward, you're looking at a lawyer, you're looking at a stock option trader research. Like there's a lot of hats that I wear. And all of the things that we're doing are all really, really grand. The problem is when you're also in court for your children, that never takes a backseat to anything. So you have to actually find the time to make sure that, because Rhino will never take a backseat to anything either. That is my kids. My kids, I have 3 kids, Christian, Amaris, and Rhino. Rhino's the oldest, not that they're my favorite. I don't have a favorite, but those are my kids, which means I just have to spend more time. So for instance, it really works out well because our 2024 investor lives in Europe. So when he emails me, which today was at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, which is 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock his time, I'm already doing things. I'm able to email back. So in the weirdest way, a lot of it just comes together correctly, like it's all working its way. The point of the story being, I have to prioritize what's most important, right? So my children are, and again, Rhino is my child, right? So when I say my children, I'm talking about Christian, Mars, and Rhino, are always going to be number 1. Far and away, there's not even a thing to talk about. That's number 1. Now, Rhino is the oldest of my 3 children. Rhino has a really great foundation. Rhino has really loyal members and partners. Rhino has a lot of luxuries and courtesies that allow me to say, okay, Rhino, I got to spend time over here. Are you good? And that conversation is in the form of Rhino Bucks because the resources that are coming in are to ensure that we get TED out. So can I go ahead and take a large portion of the resources and continue with the Rhino Bucks in the meantime? Because again, as things become less exciting over the last month or two, we haven't put out anything new. We're building something. And certain plans come down, certain plans cancel, certain people sell, and that's all fine. It's a market. My job is to make sure you can get the money out. My goal is that the price goes higher. That's what the work is for. But the most minimal thing that is my job, you have to be able to get your money in and out. Like no questions asked. Nobody ever needs to call Anthony. Hey, Anthony, no, sell it. It's a market. That's what we built it for. In doing so, when that starts getting a little more active, which we've seen many times, it gets active during periods of kind of like troughs. Like, okay, there's nothing really exciting going on. Anthony upgraded plans $5. Anthony really needs money over there. Yeah, because we're launching like the coolest, greatest thing ever. But at the same time, I'm making sure that our conversations with Stripe make sure that money comes in. I'm also making sure that our 2024, which by the way, I'm never going to share the conversations that this 47-day negotiation period has gone through. But I can tell you on two separate occasions, the deal was dead. And it takes a certain person having multiple characteristics, right, to be able to, resuscitate and turn a deal into Lazarus. And that's not a commentary on a person. It's a commentary on when somebody says no or when the world says no. That's not the point where you turn and say, okay, goodbye. In fact, if you talk to anyone in your life that's successful and you say to them, would you be where you are today if you accepted every no, or you accepted every challenge, or you accepted every failure as, that's the way it is? Everyone 100% would say, not a chance. In fact, when I worked on Wall Street, when we would speak to investors and prospects, and you cold call and do all that stuff, I would set up a super call with your team and get back. Yeah, Justin, just email me. Justin, you've been there since, like, there's day one, and then there's BC and AD. Justin's like BC. Like, he might be like member number 3, right? So anytime, Justin. It's not a commentary on the person. I remember when I worked on Wall Street, and you would be cold calling, and every single time you spoke to someone, you expected a no. That's what they said, because they get called by so many other people. You're asking them for. I always laughed on Wall Street. I'm calling you as a stranger, telling you I have the best idea. You need to give me all of your banking information, your social security number. Then you're going to send me money to go purchase this idea. And then I'm going to charge you for the privilege of that experience. And if you lose money, I'm still going to charge a commission to you and tell you why I was wrong and tell you that the next one's going to be better. Now that's the actual black and white of it. Now, excuse me. I've been juicing, and when I do that, I smell asparagus and jalapenos and ginger. Trust me, garlic, not a good moment. And so some people that was the DNA of it, right? Like, that was the actual structure of it. Now, some people would take that to the extreme and really make a business of just taking advantage of people. And then other people, such as myself, would say, well, this is the nature of the beast. I know I'm calling you. I know this is what I'm asking you for. The point being, you understood it was not a personal thing. The person saying no to you or the world saying no to you had nothing to do with you. It was the fact that their experiences and what they've been through and the time they have in their life is not conducive to saying yes to you. If you ask someone, do you want a financial investor that you know without a doubt is going to make you a ton of money? The answer is always yes. What does it take to do that, though? It's like when you're running a company and somebody says, well, why don't you just fire that employee and get a new one? Yeah, that sounds good. But the reason I'm firing that person is because they're not doing one thing correct. They have a lot of other things that they are doing correct, which is why I hired them, so I'm keeping them. When you say fire that employee to hire another one, are you of the belief that I hired that original employee knowing that they were going to do that thing wrong? No, because when you hire someone, you're like in puppy love. It's like what's it called? It's the honeymoon period. Everything's great. They could do no wrong. And in fact, anything they do wrong over the first couple of weeks is, I'm new. I don't know. I'm just learning stuff. Meaning the period of time from when you hire someone to when you find out that they're incompetent or not a good fit is such a long period of time that the sentence, go fire him and bring someone else in, is not an actual rational sentence. You can't just do that. And I forgot where I was going with that, but things just take time, I think. I don't know. But there's a lot of pieces that go into everything. I completely lost my train of mind, actually. But anyway, there's just a lot of pieces that go into stuff. And what I can say, like anything else in life, things only matter in the moment that you're focusing on them. Anything in life that offers you a little bit of trials and tribulations in the moment and then resolves in a good way that ends up really, really well, you always look back and say, do you remember that week? Or do you remember those 2 weeks? Or do you remember those 3 weeks? Or blah, 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 blah. So happy it worked out because all that ends well is well. And from my perspective, when you have so many moving components, because again, Rhino Street is a global search engine that's localized. That's going to feed directly. So TED is free. Everyone has it. Rhino Business is the business pool within TED that allows the individuals of TED to get the recommendations, and that's the marketing, the marketing for the businesses, and that's how they make their sales. When you get on Rhino Business, you're also automatically on Rhino Street, which means as Rhino Business populates, Rhino Street populates, which means now you have a functional search engine that's ideally, as TED is successful, Rhino Business is successful, Rhino Street is successful. Now you built your own platform. You have your own marketing platform, end-to-end control. Everything in it is what you made of it. All the data safe. There's no marketing ads. There's no anything, no data analytics. And you have a completely populated search engine that's completely local business that's global across the whole globe. The money that comes in as recurring, strong cash flow supports the overhead, and the additional money goes into Rhino Bucks, continues. Rhino Bucks goes from a crypto to a stock that will IPO. Everything will be a one-to-one basis. A billion crypto equals a billion shares. Nobody will be touched. But that stock, we want to have daily stock dividends and daily stock buybacks, which directly supports the price of it, which also directly supports anyone that owns it, has a compounded interest that grows. Okay. That's not so far in the future anymore. We have all the components, but what does it mean? How do you do that? There's plenty of people dead in caves with full, ammunition. You have to be able to deploy your resources, execute, to know what you're doing. So, in identifying which resources, hey, Rhino, Christian and Amar is a little bit younger, just give me a break for a second, allows me to be on my team like crazy right now because we want to get that push for Monday. I told everyone by Thursday evening, my team, I want to look at my phone and I want Ted to text me and say, hey, Ant, thanks for bringing me to life. And I want to talk to him all night. I want to pick up my phone, press the button, have it record my voice, and have Ted talk. I want that to happen. And when that happens, I'm fully cognizant that that's a really good thing and people are going to like it. Then we get the businesses involved in which the businesses have a form that's being completed right now. It will be done by Thursday. I'm going to send out to all the businesses, in which case the business form you're going to complete is going to put you in the pool for TED, which then goes to all the users. Great. Okay, cool. We're also going to go directly to the search engine. You'll be able to search yourself. Cool. As we just play around with this and people see it and it's exciting and it's fun, we're able to grow the membership to TED and do a better marketing to allow people in TED to see the business. Now, I do understand we're going to have to make some partnerships, and I want to make partnerships. I find that making partnerships is time consuming, and I haven't really done that very well. But secondly, I'm so sick of internet marketing, influencers, platforms. And I say that because I'm not good at it. The individual that's super talented at Facebook is now at this point like 10 years experienced, right? The individual that's super talented at TikTok knows what they're doing. They eat, sleep, and breathe it because you have to. Like when I call that person a dork, I'm saying it with affection. You cannot be good at any of these platforms unless you eat, sleep, and drink it every second of every day. You're on top of everything. You know you're done. I don't. In no world will I ever have that time. We will hire someone to be our social media marketing experts. I would love that. I would love that more than anything. You have no idea how much I would love to actually have a marketing department. But I know my superpower is I cannot wait to go town to town to town and just meet people and tell them, this is what we're doing. Here's Ted. Here's Ted. Here's Ted. Throw the banquet, invite the town, buy the stuff at the businesses, shake the hands, kiss the babies, be there, be present. And between what we're talking about now to that actually happening, we're going to create a bunch of pageantry type events. All right. And we have a bunch of shirts and we give it out to this town, or Rhino loves Cincinnati, or right. Do you guys even remember? Not you guys, I don't mean it like that, but do you remember that we have 420 subdomains already done on Rhino Street, where you can what's it like? So you could do cincinnati.rhinostreet.com, and I wonder if that's actually a thing. That is a subdomain, right? So before, let me see what's behind this screen. Let's see if we have it still. Well, I mean, I know I don't think it disappeared. Let's do a share screen and see if I really embarrass myself. Okay. Because if this doesn't work, I'm totally going to be embarrassed. All right, so let's move some stuff around. So why would I pick the, okay, boston.rhinostreet.com. Do you remember this? These are for every city in America that has 50,000 population or more. We have individual websites. So this is to join Rhino Street. This is going to change to joining TED. So I would love to go into a city like, let's say, Miami.rhinostreet.com and say, Miami, listen, this is your community. This is who you are. I appreciate you. Rhino appreciates you. This is what makes you special. And this is to get into TED and shows what TED is doing, right? The point being to walk into a town and celebrate them and say, hey, listen, we celebrate you. And I think there is a certain portion where you could, hey, guys, we made you your own site. Go check out if you're on it. I think something like that turns a whole town into saying, oh my God, Kim, did you see your picture? You're on it. Hey, Mike, did you see it? You can pick, and I'm almost challenging you, right? Any city in the entire country that has a population of 50,000 or more, the city name, .rhinostreet.com, and you will get actual unique photos that I can't even tell you how long I spent finding those photos. And all of the projects that we've ever done here at Rhino, people, and rightfully say, Aunt, remember the time you did that? Whatever came up with. Aunt, remember you? They're all coming together. I almost feel like Elon. It's like we have Starlink over here, we have SpaceX over here, we have Tesla over here, we have Neuralink over here, we have Boring over here. Like there's a lot of things that we're doing, but they're all going to come together with Twitter over here to create this one massive, beautiful platform where the individual that comes to Rhino is not here for a product. They're here for a platform. Hey, I'm with Rhino. Yeah, my company's on Rhino Business. I have a ton of sales. And in fact, everyone I speak to, they're perfect clients. In fact, the stories I get, yeah, I own this pizza shop. There was this person from Los Angeles I was visiting, and they said, they had TED, obviously, everyone has TED. I was like, you know what? What's the best pizza place? I'm in Freehold, New Jersey. I've always been told New Jersey has good pizza. And this lady came over to me. She's like a movie star, and she came in, and it was amazing. And I actually, every time she visits, she comes in. In fact, she convinced me to send her a frozen pizza last week, right? Those are going to be the interactions of how these individuals meet these businesses, because the introduction isn't a marketing ad. It's a solution in the moment that you have that direct challenge that could be solved by that business. And I think that kind of interaction is one that does foster relationships and storytelling. And I think it's pleasant. I think it's a nice experience. I think people feel good about it. And as that becomes more popular, you then have the search engine's coded. I can't even tell you how long that took. That is going to be populated across the entire globe. And if you go on the search engine, you can find, if you search anything, you come up to a page where there's events on it. So the community can then go ahead and post their own events within their own community that the 20 miles around will know it. It's just really cool, exciting stuff that's happening. But there are all these parts that you have to bring together, because they can drown you, they can overwhelm you, they can sink you. It really, like, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I juice all day, like I drink garlic, I go to sleep at 8 o'clock, I'm up at 3 in the morning. If I did not live, I jog 2 hours a day, like read books. Like if I did not live the lifestyle I did, I could never do if I did not go through and still going through the enduring the most painful thing I've ever felt in my entire life, because I don't know if you've ever heard a wolf cry, but that's what every morning of my life is like, missing my kids. But it all comes together to complete what it is that we're doing. So I say this because we're getting very close to the finish line where the funding's coming in, all the pieces are done together, the launch is happening, and then we could finally do the fun stuff, just go market. I want to walk around places and say, do you have a TED? You don't even have a TED? Here, I'll sign you up right now. Ted's texting you. You're welcome. I want to have shirts saying, give me a second. Let me talk to Ted and see what he says. I spoke to Ted. I can now talk. I want that stuff. That's the fun stuff. Can we make cool shirts? Can we make viral shirts? Can we give stuff away? Can we go to towns? Can we take pictures? Can we kiss babies, right? That's the fun stuff. That's 2024. So kind of like our call yesterday, like we're just going through production hell right now. Like it's complete hell. Like I have people that email me and text me and, Aunt, I need this back, or Aunt, I need this, and I do this. And I always say yes to everyone. In fact, the things that you don't know about Rhino is how much redemptions Rhino actually gives out every single week. Like when someone says, Aunt, I don't see Rhino bucks being purchased, it's not that the money's not there. It's just that we've always guaranteed anyone that ever came into Rhino, your money is yours upon 30 days. If you said to me, like, we were never going to be that stuffy, like, we're a private company, too bad, kick rocks, see you later. No, you need your money, you're going through something. Okay, the answer is yes. Give me 30 days. Let me figure this out. All right, Mr. Jones, I know, are you okay just waiting another week or two? There's so much. And that's okay, because everyone always, I think it comes down to, is Anthony credible? Is he accessible? And do you find him trustworthy? And those are my assets. And I will never, ever, ever even touch those, because that is Rhino. So I don't know why I'm going off on a tangent today. I think I just have extra energy. But the point of the story being, there's a lot. It's all good. So actually, that actually does bring me up to something. So tomorrow, I think I need to take the day for a couple of reasons. So the prompt for TED is still the demo prompt. I have not done the super duper prompt that everyone's going to have. That's going to take me I need to do that. And then for personal life, for court, I have divorce court or family court, whatever it's called, the 20th. And that's the moment where the judge is actually going to decide. Like I've only been in, so I don't want to get too much into it. I'm not going to get it, but that's the court where presumably that day the judge is going to say, okay, this is custody. This is it, right? Like, here you go. And I have till the 12th to respond to my ex-wife's 100 pages of like just nonsense. I can't even, if you want to I don't even know if I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed to say this. It's just funny, but I'm editing that out too, because I know who's in this room and they're not one of them. Except I don't know that name. That'd be odd. All right. Love y'all, and thank you for letting me be a little silly. I don't, my day-to-day life is this. So at times, if you hear me say something where you're like, oh, can't believe he said that, I don't actually talk to anyone else. I work all day. So you are my sounding board. So, if I'm a little silly sometimes, just chalk it up to like, he had to vent at some point. So I really do. More than words. Love y'all.